Hello everyone, thank you for those who have joined on time. So let us quickly start with today's webinar. And just some housekeeping rules, you are all muted by default, just to avoid some background disturbance. So before I get started, let me just quickly introduce for those who don't know about us. So we are Adibio, so we have been here from past 12 plus years, and we have been giving support in the field of architectural, interior, manufacturing, construction, all the fields. And we do provide training certifications for most of the CAD tools. And we do help develop plugins, extensions for your needs. And we have been in the educational and university engagements as well. Yes, some of our key products are definitely SketchUp, uh, from Cures, V-Ray, Inkscape, all those products. There is ZWCAD, D5 Pro, which we are going to talk about today, Autodesk products, and all the Rhino products, and much more. This is our geographical presence. So in India, it's majorly Bangalore, and we are located mostly towards European side also. Some of the companies who have been part of our journey from past 12 plus years, yes, from all the fields, as we can see, architectural, interior, there is solar industry also who have been part of our journey. Same with the educational engagements as well, as we have been providing trainings and all these things. There are some institutes who have been part of our journey. So with this information about us, let me just quickly get started with the D5 renders. I will just keep my video off. Just a moment. So interestingly, I saw in the feed form which you people have submitted, like a lot of you have already tried D5, which is really nice to see. We have been conducting D5 webinar from past 3 years almost, and it's really nice to see from then to now. Most of you already know D5 and have been using. So today we are definitely going to speak about what's new in the 3.0 version of D5. Before that, for those who don't know, I would just like to quickly introduce to what D5 is. Yes, D5, a rendering tool, which is a best balance between the speed and the quality of the output which you are getting. Yes, and seamlessly integrates with your favorite modeling tool. Either it's SketchUp, Revit, whatever the 3D modeling tool you're using, it does integrate with it. User-friendly environment. Yes, you don't have to spare all of your time to learn a new software. It's very user-friendly and it's easier to get used to the software. And yes, according to the cost term subscription, we all know it's quite a decent software with that also. And one more thing which I would like to say is, yes, D5 is the first AI-powered real-time rendering tool. Yes, no doubt they have got some of the really good AI features in them. So with this brief about D5, it's for all, architect, interior, landscape, whatever the field you are into, it helps you with everything. Always growing. Yes, D5 started with 2.1 version. And yes, I started to use somewhere around this 2.6 version or so. And we have been giving this webinar from 2.8 version. And yes, it has been now like the 3.0 version, which is the latest. And every release, there is like a major update which comes from D5. Either it be AI enhancer, terrain options, night sky options, city generators. So all these features are really great. So let us just quickly see what's there in the 3.0 version. I would just like to take you through a small glimpse of what's in the 3.0 version before I start. Okay, we just saw the glimpse of what 3.0, the newest features, versions, and all this are there. So yes, there is D5 Lite, which has been introduced in the latest release of D5. So before we get into that part, I would just like to quickly go through what D5 licensing options are there. Yes, there is two options, which is D5 Pro and D5 Teams. Pro, yes, definitely ideal for individual designers, visualizers, or a small group of company also. It comes with all of the features, asset, material, environment, lights. You are basically getting everything. Compared to the previous licensing option, we are even getting virtual tour option, which we can now create using the D5 Pro license only. Previously, it was like a D5 Teams version, which was there for virtual tour. And yes, there is D5 Teams version for licensing. Yes, Teams two or more users. And yes, there are some extra features which you would be getting, which is a multi-editor option. There would be dedicated team library, and you would have some D5 Studio option like a cloud workspace option, which you will get in the D5 Teams version. So this is the two licensing part which D5 is offering us. So with that, we'll just get into the D5 render option. Yes, in the latest version, if you have seen some small glimpse of it, D5 Lite has been introduced. So D5 Lite is nothing but a lighter version of your D5 render. So just a small glimpse of what Lite does. Okay, this is the D5 Lite which has been introduced. So it's very useful for your early stage of design, for when you have just modeled and you have to generate some ideas. That's where the D5 Lite comes in. You can use the AI option which is there in D5 Lite, or if you want to just generate a quick output of your basic initial render, you can just add some lights, add some environment, adjust your materials, and quickly share your renders. D5 Lite is for that initial stage of your design or the quick previews of your design. So what D5 Lite offers and what are the some of the features which I would like to talk in D5 Lite would be AI image generate. Definitely there are so many AI options, but whatever you have modeled in your SketchUp, basically this is my SketchUp model, and you can see the D5 Lite, it comes as a plugin here. So if you just click on it, you have option of AI where you can generate some AI outputs out of this for some inspiration or some ideas. You can just take, they have all the predefined templates if you are using architecture, landscape, residential, workspace, whatever the model is in. If you say generate, according to the template, it will generate some good options for you. You can choose whatever you like, and you can even compare and see how it behaves, or yes, definitely you can download that also. So my SketchUp model and the AI output, what I have got out of my just 3D model. There is nothing material which I have defined or anything. Basic 3D model, and we can generate really good outputs out of this AI image generate, which is there in D5 Lite. Yes, it live syncs with SketchUp. So whatever you're doing in the SketchUp user interface, so this is the version. So whatever the changes I'm doing here is automatically reflected there. So just drawing. So once it's done, any material, whatever you have to apply, you can just go ahead and do that. Very easy to apply materials again. So whatever this material we are applying from SketchUp, using the material template, you can adjust if it's water, if it's grass or some glass material. You can adjust the editing features also. So you can see how the water is behaving in the D5 Lite. So it's very much adjustable according to your material also. As I said, you can even add D5 Lite into the user interface of your SketchUp. So yes, D5 offers us with point light, rectangle light, spotlight, strip light. All these lights have been given. You just have to pick whatever suits. So here I'm just taking the light option. So you have to add it in your normal SketchUp user interface. Once the light is added, yes, you can see you are getting all the controls again, the intensity or the temperature controls. Basic controls would be given for you. So even the light material, everything, once it's added, yes, then comes your environment option, or if you want to add some proxy assets or anything, that can also be done. Environment, it's quite simple. Okay, sorry, just a moment. Yeah, environment is quite simple. You can adjust the sunlight and the intensity, all these things normally. If you want to add any HDRIs from your external, if you have downloaded any, that HDRIs can be added, and it that parameters can be adjusted more inside the D5 Lite. Same way they have proxy assets. So proxy assets, you know by now, it's like which we added in our SketchUp user interface, but in your D5 user interface, it looks exactly like how you have downloaded the asset. For example, I'm just adding a tree over here. So once it's placed in your D5 user interface, it just looks like this. So you have some trees, human characters, which can be added as proxy assets inside your SketchUp. So once you are good to go with your normal initial stage of detailing or the concept design or anything, you can render the output in D5 Lite and share it across. Once the initial stage of your design is done, the same model, whatever the changes you have done, will go into your D5. So there is no loss of project, or there is no loss of your time, or whatever the efforts you have put into one particular model. It's all reflected in your D5 render again. So as I mentioned, it's for early stage and the concept design option. So once it's done, you have to do your final polishing or the extra stuffs inside the D5 render itself. So your flow is unbroken, which means whatever the changes you have done is automatically reflecting in your D5 user interface. So let me just quickly go into what D5 user interface offers us with sync to the live sync now. So yes, we all know D5 supports multiple 3D modeling tools, whether it's Rhino, Revit, 3ds Max, SketchUp, you have plugin for all. Their environment feature is something very nice. We are getting some HDRI option. There is night sky, there is geolocation, there is weather system. We are getting multiple options where we can go and choose and create our renders out of it. I would just like to show small glimpse of the options which are there. Yes, this is the D5 user interface. Towards the right side, you have your environmental controls. Yes, basic geo and sky, where you can adjust your timings, the height, speed, and all this. And in the latest version, we have also got the cloud preset controls. So you can see there are multiple cloud presets which are available. So if you are choosing that, automatically the cloud behaves in that way. There is custom option where some of you who does nighttime renders or something, you can come to the custom and choose the night render options, where you can adjust the moonlight, moon phasing, all this star intensity. that can be adjusted. HDRI is one of the really amazing part in D5 where you're getting multiple HDRI collections. So here I'm choosing a sunset glow, some option. On top of that, we can even adjust that according to our preference. You can switch on the sunlight, you can say to follow the HDRI, control the altitude, everything can be controlled, which is the best part about the D5. Yes, after the asset library, the main part where, sorry, after the environment, the main part is where the asset library comes in. They have got 14,000 plus collection of assets, very high quality assets, either it be your materials, your furniture, your vegetation options. You have got around 4,000 plus collection of diverse plants and all these options which you are getting. Material collection, again, they use all the PBR materials which are really great. So you are getting around 2,000 plus collection of material in the material library also. And some of the pro assets where I can say they have some animated plants, particles, which is really good. And of course, animated characters for your animations, walkthroughs, and anything. So what I mean by animated particle is something which I would like to quickly show in the small clips here. So somewhere where you want to add some water flow, some fountain effect or some fire effect is where you can go for the particles and choose whatever you want. There is good collection of fountains, water dripping and all these things. So here I'm choosing one water dripping option. As I have said, it's all customizable. So just scaling it according to the preference. If you want to change the color, the transparency, everything can be adjusted over there. And they have got a really good collection of particles. So yes, this is how simple it's to add a water flow effect just from your asset library. And there is one more very interesting, which is parallax. So I have not seen this in much of the tools, but yes, you can see I have been working on an exterior model, yes, in this project. So most of the times there will not be requirement of adding something internally. Just to waste our time or just to make it look realistic, we keep on doing some changes internally. So that's where you can just go to your asset library. And in the interior option, you have parallax. You can choose residential or commercial. So I'm choosing commercial parallax over here. And you can just adjust it however you want. And it will give you that visual of something has been modeled inside your house or the building. Same way, adjusting the size, you can adjust the lighting, the light intensity, the temperature, everything of the parallax which you have added, which is really nice. You can see adjusting the lighting here. Even the position of how the chairs or assets have been placed inside the parallax can be adjusted. So yes, same way you have landscape scatters and scatters present brush tool which has been given. It's very easy to add the scatter option inside D5. They have all the preset libraries which are available. You don't have to drag each and every small trees and keep adding the assets. So just going for the scatter in the asset library, choosing whatever the combination yes is required. So once it's downloaded, applying it inside the D5. So within just one click, we have got all our scattered inside our D5 user interface. On top of that, you are getting all the options of the grass and what are the plants that have been placed. You can select and adjust the scaling, the probability of its occurrence, the volume, everything can be adjusted according to your preference. So the thing which would take us, yeah, at least half an hour can be done in just 2 to 3 minutes with help of the scatter. So D5 renders AI workflow, which is something which I would like to go through today. Yes, the D5 has got some amazing collection of AI options which you can do. You can generate HD texture of your material, whatever you have added. You can make it seamless. You can generate a texture map out of your material, which is coming from Google, Pinterest, wherever you have downloaded from basically. So let me just talk about the HD option. So once your material is selected, again, this is just coming from SketchUp. So once the material is selected, you are getting option of the base color and the color map. So you can just go and choose Ultra HD or make seamless, whatever the option you want for that material over there. So instantly, if you say Ultra HD, it will take your material quality to 4K. Same way, you can see the seam lines over here. If I go and say make it seamless, you can either choose horizontally or vertically how you want to make it seamless. So once it's done, your thick seam lines in any material which would look ugly if we are just rendering like that is gone. Same way, there is one wooden texture coming from SketchUp again. So if I click on that, there is the option of AI texture generate, where it automatically generates the roughness map and all these maps for me. So instantly you can see the difference of how the grains are properly visible and the maps would be there for you to control it further. Same way how we have for material, we have solution for atmosphere also. Any image from wherever you have inspiration from, in your D5 model, you can bring that image and snap your current view and it will take that particular HDRI. This is something which is really nice. So there is some inspirational image and I want to bring that particular HDRI into my model. So just adding the image and the style will get migrated into the particular scene. Again, once it's migrated, also you can adjust it further by adjusting its rotation angle, how bright you want, how the cloud should behave. Everything is again very much customizable. So yes, this were some of the features which have been there in D5 from past many releases. From the last release, there was a AI agent which has been added into D5, so you can ask any questions via chat, or you can ask it to do some smart planting option, which really gives some good species size quantity option, whichever you want to choose. So I used it once for the landscape part, where there is a flower bed option and I can choose some options which can be adjusted. So you can see I have just choose a seasonal flower bed option over here, and I'm going to just change according to my needs. I will say India, and I will say I want something in yellow color. And once you say generate, it will generate all the plant species options for you. So once it's generated, you can even delete here if you don't want anything particularly. So this is the thing which is gonna get imported into my D5 user interface now. So I just deleted ones which I don't wanted there. So selecting the region where I want to add the scatter. So once selected, you can see in just 2 minutes, the scatter has been generated. Same way you can adjust whatever you want, don't want, the scaling and all these features as we know. So this is using the AI tool, which I generated a landscape for that particular area. One more interesting thing which has come up in the D5 3.0 version would be render setup, I can say. For example, you can see this is a commercial space which I was working on. And I'm just adding another commercial space image where I feel like I want some assets from that particular image. So I'm just adding that image into the AI agent and mentioning as assets. And what it will do for me is whatever the assets it's able to find in that image, it will give recommendations for me. And this recommendation is something which is coming from D5 asset library. So whatever is there in their asset library has been recommended. So you don't have to go and search in that 14,000 assets where I will find this particular chandelier, the chair or anything. So I wanted this light option here. It gave me that option. Just download and add how we normally add the assets. Same way with the environment also, you can see this is my reference image for the environment lighting setup, all this. So I'm choosing that image, adding it to the AI agent, and I will say generate that environment for me. So it will process for 2 minutes, and based on my request, that particular image style will get added into my D5 user interface. So just adjusting few parameters, the temperature, the light, the sun, and I don't want it to follow HDRI image, just making some custom adjustment. Yes, this is how quickly you can bring some environment and customize according to your scene. One more very interesting option is AI PBR material snap, a very useful feature. Either you're interior designer, architect, this is the feature which definitely you would be using in your DeFi workflow. Any image, guys, any image, whatever you feel like, you can just drag and drop that image. I mean the material image specifically. So for example, I want this particular wood to come into my DeFi model. So I'm just gonna select that particular wood in the AI material snap option inside your DeFi only. So you can see it has generated the exactly same wooden material, and it's even giving me recommendation from their asset library. But I think I'm very good to go with the exact material suggestion which it has given me. Copy it, normally add it wherever you want, and you're done with it. It doesn't have to be any such a big image. Even you can take a photo of your material, what you want to add in your model, just add it there and it will give you that material. Okay, one more thing which has been introduced in the latest 3.0 version would be AI object generation. So whatever things you're not able to find in your asset library, or if you want to model some furnitures where there is a lot of customization required or something, so that is the furniture where you can just add the clean image of your furniture. For example, I have added here a fountain image which I want to generate for this particular area. So it's generating that image. So once generated, just normally download it and place it. It really gives a good mesh model. It's very clear. It's not like some random thing has been generated. Again, normally adjusting the scale and location of it. So you can see how it is. It's nothing which I have modeled or something. It's just image to object generation option coming from DeFi itself. Yes, if you have seen previous webinars in SketchUp also, you can do something similar, but it just depends on your workflow. If you're using it for 3D modeling where you want to show your presentation, generate in SketchUp. Otherwise, yes, definitely if you are showing it in a visualization way, come and show it in your DeFi. City generator. I don't know how many of you have faced this issue, but whenever I do an exterior model, I just add some dummy building somewhere around just to make it look something realistic or something. So here you can just select the city generator option. Again, I'm choosing Bangalore here. I'm choosing an area where I want. So the exact area what you would have chosen would be generated inside your DeFi. So again, adjusting it's wherever I want to place it. On top of that, what you can extra do now is you can come select that building, whatever you have chose, come to the styles option towards your right corner. And when you click on the styles, you can see it generates fake styles on that building. So it looks realistic when we are actually presenting, and it's not like in some dark color or tones or something. On top of that, you can select whatever the building you want, and you can make it commercial, residential, however you want it to look. So which is really a nice option. It's again 3.0 version update which has been done. Some of the advanced option again, yes, the brush tool where you can select your plants whichever you want and you can easily brush around wherever you want and it will automatically take that area and add the plants. There is custom path option where you're using anything to place it multiple times. You can choose the path and place it very quickly, very easily. For example, here I'm just taking the custom path. I'm adding the path where I want to place whatever the assets I want to place in this particular region. So once the path is placed, I'm taking a outdoor chair in this particular space. So I have took that one chair, adjust how your chair wants to look in the first chair. I'm just adjusting the rotation angle and the scale, all these things. So once you have adjusted how you want it to look, now nothing, come select the path and increase the density of it. So you can see 4, 5, 6 very easily. It's been added. You don't have to copy and keep adding multiple times. So yes, this is the custom path option. And we all know D5 is an animation ready software. There is very good controls of how you can animate your people, vehicle, and all these things. Normally select your path, add whatever the vehicle you would like to choose from. Once you have selected that vehicles, once the path is added, the vehicle starts to move. On top of that, not only that, we can give further controls for the vehicles using this adjustment tool, which is like single lane, double lane, density increment, or if you want to change the colors, how it behaves, everything can be adjusted in your default panel. So there is camera options. Yes, once you are done with your normal rendering and stuff, you can go for camera and lock your camera and use the orbit tool for like some good cinematic shots which you can generate out of it. So we had just tried one option. It was like uh, ocean space or something which we had tried. So this was a small animation which we created using D5. Again, this ocean is yes, it has been there in previous version, but this version it has been enhanced by adding some good detailing. So even you can generate ocean, terrain, and all these options inside the D5 user interface itself. So the people moving, even the birds for that example. So yes, definitely try out this ocean option. Again, the trees, everything, it's just using the brush tool. You don't have to place each and every tree over there. Use the brush tool and add the trees and you're done with the trees. With one click, you can generate the ocean. Same with one click. The terrain can be adjusted, which is very nice. Yes, if it's very technical, do it in SketchUp. But if you're just adjusting it normally for the visualization purpose, it does a very good job in adjusting the terrain. And yes, so yes, these are some of the renders of the same project which I have took. It might be some 4K to 8K render quality which I generated. Same, I would just like to talk about a little bit of options which has been indicated. Is there is CCM, which is nothing but the proper 3D terrain data which would get imported. Yes, it's not available for country like yes India or some of the countries. You just have to check which is available that can be easily imported. There is XR tour which can be done. You just have to place where your building is and with whomever you're sharing, they can just view in the XR tour. One more thing I would just like to mention would be D5 works. Yes, we have 14,000 plus collection of asset library. Definitely there will be something missing which we want. You can just come for D5 works. This is a newly added thing in 3.0 version. You are getting a wide range of assets over here. Again, same high quality assets. You can either use a D5 Lite or D5 render. It would be clearly mentioned where it would be supported. So you can just download. There is a residential interior space, like a fully built interior spaces also. Yes, furniture, lighting, decoration option, buildings, plants, you name it, you have it all. Again, some would be paid here, some would be free here. You just have to check and download whatever suits your needs at that moment. D5 offers a post-production workflow also. I'm not sure how many of you have actually explored this. Yes, we take out the renders, but we have to go into other modeling tools to make some correction here and there. Definitely with trees and all these things, we have to do some corrections. But you don't have to go anywhere. Just once your normal render is done, whatever you can click on the AI post-process option, which D5 automatically gives you. There is three different options which you can choose from: AI enhancer, AI style transfer, or AI in painting option. I usually in my final renders go for AI enhancer, which is nothing but to enhance my trees, how it looks, everything. There is style transfer, which I'm showing you here, which is again nothing but it just transfers your style from morning to evening, evening to night with just one render, what you have to. Same way, this is also a style transfer from morning to evening. It's not a complete render again, it's just a AI option which is there. You can choose in painting and add some clouds to specific region or some vegetation if you have missed out in somewhere, that can be done. There is, yes, you can do your walkthroughs, you can do your renders, everything. But now the thing which has come into limelight would be virtual tours. Yes, everyone, no one wants that boring straight renders. They people want to have the virtual reality experience. That is where you can come and create your virtual tours for your models by adding hotspots and giving some informations, and it's not boring and you can just move around the house or the model whichever you have. So this virtual tour can now be created in your D5 Pro version only. If you are a Pro license user, you can create the virtual tour. So here I have my first one is an interior space and the second one is a commercial space. You can scan, use your phone and scan whichever you want, and you can have a virtual tour experience. There would be hotspots placed. If you click on those hotspots, you can move around the model, whatever I have given. I hope you are all able to scan it and just have an experience of the virtual tour. Let me just try and show it on my user interface also. Like again, So you can see this would be your virtual tour space where you can just create your tour. You can definitely see this hotspots. And if you are clicking on that hotspot, it will take you to the particular region wherever you are clicking it into. Otherwise, it will be moving as it's a spatial tour. So you can see, I can just go inside and see where the waterfall is placed and the other regions. And you can again click on the other hotspot. It will take you to that particular view. All this can be done. Either it's exterior space, interior space, you can create virtual tours for any. Yeah. So with this, we have come to the end of our today's webinar. So if